What is going on, guys? This is EK1 here, and today's video we're bringing you my favorite Outriders build in the game right now. Of course, that is the Pyro build. But before we get into the video, be sure to hit the like button if you do find this video helpful. Hit that subscribe button if you want to help support the channel. Only 27% of you are subscribed who view my videos. So if you want to help support the channel, just a click of the little button, just a click of that button will help this channel so much. Now, along with the build, we're going to show you some hints and tips on how to make the most of this build as well. We're going to break it down for you, and we're going to show you exactly what we're using. With that being said, let's get straight into today's build video. So let's show you exactly what we're using, and I want to explain why we use each part. We're going to show you the skill tree, what skills we're using, and also a little tip on how to use one or two of the mods to maximize the damage. Now, of course, we are running Pyro, as I mentioned before, and we are doing the anomaly power Pyro. So this is going to be a bottom tree Pyro. Now, this is good for buffing up your teammates, putting those debuffs out there. Your teammates are going to have an increase in damage, which means that you're going to get through this quicker than you should be, or quicker than you would be on your own. Now, this is also good for solo play as well. As you can see in the footage that we'll show you just after, you can solo tier 15's golds. Now, I'm not going to say this is the best build for solo in tier 15 golds, but if you know where those captains come out or where the ads come out from, you can pretty much speed run tier 15s with this build with no trouble. Now, if you are a lazy player like me, which is why I've got a Devastator and a Pyro, you can literally play the lazy game as well if you don't care too much about the timer. Now, to start with, let's go into what skills we're using on this build. Now, of course, you're going to have to be max level to get these skills and to be able to get the skill tree maxed out. So if you haven't reached that stage yet, this is probably something for you to aim for. So just bear in mind, maybe you want to save this to watch later. Just bear in mind that this is what you're going to want to aim for if you've got a Pyro and you want this type of build. So we are using Heatwave. Now, Heatwave, basically similar to the Devastator slam on the ground. Basically, you just set people on fire, you inflict burn and do 26,000 damage. Now, alongside that, we have Ash Blast. Now, this creates an anomaly blast to inflict ash on all enemies within a large radius around you. And when I say large radius, it is a large radius, but we'll go back to that in just a second. And obviously the main one here is going to be Overheat. Now, a lot of people use different things. There are people using the thermal bomb. There's all different builds out there. I honestly prefer Overheat. I think it's so good, and the range on this thing is ridiculous. So you deal 6,809 damage to all enemies within a large radius and interrupt their skills. Enemies affected with burn receive 87,543 damage instead. The burn will be consumed. So you do a lot more damage if they are already on fire or already with burn, which is why we use the Heatwave. We'll go into how to play this build just after we've shown it you, but I just wanted to show you exactly what we've got before we start and before we go into the main parts. Now, in terms of skill tree, now this can be kind of changed a little bit, and I have played around a lot of changing stuff around. Like, do we need, the Inferno Weapon and Marble Orchard? Well, yes, because you want your skills back so quick. Now, at the moment, mine is a 4.1 second on the Overheat, 7.1 second on Heatwave, and 12.6 seconds on the Ash Blast. That's going to go down to 4 seconds, and they'll all drop down slightly, only because my gloves don't have maxed out cooldown on them. So basically that's going to drop down to 4 seconds. So you're going to have Overheat every 4 seconds. So basically go for 2 on the top tree, which is Inferno Weapon and also Marble Orchard. Of course, this is the one that you want. I don't really care much about the weapon damage because we're not really doing that much damage with the weapon. But to get to Marble Orchard, you have to click that one as well. So affected skills, basically any immobilized skills that you're using has a cooldown by 15%. Perfect. Then we're going to go bottom tree now, and we're basically just going to fill out the bottom tree. I'll move that out the way so you guys can just copy and paste it or screenshot this so you can see the exact tree. But the main thing is, we want the anomaly power to be up. We want our cooldown to be as low as possible or as high as possible on the number. And then you can just do your, increase your skill damage by marked enemies. Now, decrease all your skill cooldowns by 10% is here as well. Again, all you're aiming for is that cooldown to use your skills as fast as possible. Don't care much about damage-wise when it comes to weapons or health or anything like that. Just stick to that cooldown. Now, again, we're going for explosive cooldowns. And then here, increased damage against elites. We're going to pair that up with another mod in just a second. And then obviously at the end, increase explosive skill-based damage by 30%. And that does make a huge difference, especially when you're running it with this gear set. Now, we'll go into the helmet first. Well, this is a pretty common helmet. I think I got this straight away. I got this whole build in under 24 hours of playing. Now, that's pure RNG, of course, but I will say that these pieces seem to drop quite frequent. So, Anomalies Visage, and that is the helmet we're going to use. It's got Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, and Skill Life Leech. Now, this whole build is based around Anomaly Power and cooldown reduction. So as long as you have cooldown reduction on every single thing, then you're pretty good. You're not going to be able to have anomaly power on everything, but we'll go into that in just a second. Now on this, the mods are Ash Increase Range. Now this increases the skill's range by 66%. Now as we showed you earlier, this is the Ash Blast. 66% more range on this thing. And it does go far, and that's what you want, because using your other skills that spread that far is going to do more damage. Now, on the chest piece, we have Armor of the Akari. Now, we are using 3 pieces of Akari. Please, the first thing you should be doing on any kind of pyro, I think personally, is getting the Akari going, because this really does help out a lot. It has Anomaly Power, Skill Life Leech, and Cooldown Reduction. And then it has Detonator, which is a tier 3 mod, which decreased the skill's cooldown by 50% on overheat. So 50% decrease in skill cooldown. Again, we want our skills back as fast as we can. And then I've put on Tidal Wave. So, I'm sorry, Tidal Wave's already on it. So this is Heat Wave. The skill can be activated one more time before triggering cooldown. So you get an extra Heat Wave. So the slam on the ground with the flames, you're going to get that twice. So you can do a little bit more damage. You can get up to 3, but I'll show you in just a second why we didn't opt to have 3 of those. Now, going on to the waistcloth of Akari, we have Anomaly Power, Skill Life Leech, and Cooldown Reduction, of course. With this, has got Anomaly Echo, and this grants 3,276 firepower and 11,484 Anomaly Power bonus on skill activation for 15 seconds. So it's going to boost up that Anomaly Power that you've got. And then we have here Emergency Stance. I've been playing around with this over the last 24 hours. I've really played around with different mods. I find when I took Emergency Stance off, I was dying a lot. Like, I would literally go into chem and I would die after about a minute. Like, I'd just get overrun and they would kill me. So for me, Emergency Stance is like a must. It is, of course, broken right now. Say no more. Or we will say more. It's broken basically, so when it procs, it stays on your character unless you die or you go all the way back to the lobby. So when you come and finish a CT15, for example, you go back to the camp, you will still have that icon procced, and you will still be having the emergency stance buff or debuff, etc. So it's bugged out right now. Use it right now, because it is going to keep you alive more than anything else. You could change that to different things. You could add another mod to give you an additional heat wave or something like that. But for me, emergency stance is definitely a must-have right now. Now, for the 3-piece of Akari, we didn't go into this, but every enemy damaged by heat wave grants 50% anomaly power bonus for 10 seconds. Every enemy damaged by heat wave. That's crazy, right? This is crazy. So make sure you got the 3-piece gear set on and equipped. Now, the one that you don't want equipped is the gloves. Now, the gloves, I don't know if I've got them here. Let's have a look. I think I've... Oh, here they are. The gloves, for me, are a wasted set of gloves. They've got max health, skills, life leech, and status power for 1. No good for me. Do you have strength from the fire heat wave? Using the skill grants 8 seconds 10% weapon damage bonus. We don't care about weapon damage bonus. I will say Blacksmith underneath it is a good talent. Now, Overheat, so each status condition consumed by the skill grants 52,000 armor bonus for 8 seconds. So when they fix the actual one that I'm using here, Emergency Stance, I think I'll probably put Blacksmith or something like that on there to give me some kind of health back. There's a few health mods out there or armor mods out there that will help you along the way. So definitely have a look and just keep an eye out for when that is patched. Now, the gloves for me, we have Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, and Status Power. As long as you've got Anomaly and Cooldown, don't worry. The Status Power is good, but you're not really speccing into that. So that could be anything. It could be Skill Life Leech, you know, Weapon Life Leech, anything like that. What you want on here is Pants on Fire. This is Overheat, and it increases by 48,000 the damage to enemies who are damaged by the skill, but did not have their status consumed. So basically just damage is going to give you more damage for doing that. We then played around with this second talent. We've got Captain Hunter, and I believe you get these from Cannonball Gloves, maybe? I may be wrong. I'll double check and just let you guys know when I edit the video. But basically Captain Hunter increases your damage against elites by 25%. We already have a 10% buff, so this is going to buff us 35% more damage against elites. Now with this build, when we go into showing you or telling you how we use it, you are going to want to head straight for the elites. No matter where on the map, you're just going to want to run straight towards them, ignore the other ads as much as possible, especially if you're trying to speed run. You're going to want to hit them elites, damage them, kill them, and everything around you will just die. They will just die all around you. So definitely try and get yourself a set of purple gloves. They could be any name of the gloves. It doesn't really matter as long as you get those rolls. Obviously, the armor on these gloves is a bit low as well. Again, it doesn't really matter that much, but if you can get your gear armor up, it's going to benefit you when we go across to the weapon mods. Now, the feet we're using, or the boots, is the boots of Akari. And these are really good. This is something that's, I think this is the last piece that I had to get, and it took me quite a while, but we managed to get there. And this is where we don't have Anomaly Power. We have Max Health, Skills Life Leech, but we do have Cooldown Reduction. Anomaly Power on this would really boost it up, but hey, we can't have everything. We need that 3-piece set. So it has Master Consumer on there, which is Overheat. The skill consumes either burn or ash status to deal damage. Consuming both at once increases the damage by 150%, which is why we use Heatwave for the burn and ash. So if you pop Heatwave, ash, then hit Overheat, you're getting 150% more damage. Bear in mind now, Heatwave's already given you 50% more Anomaly Power bonus just because we got the 3-piece on. You're going to have 35% more damage to elites. You can just imagine the kind of damage that you are going to be doing. And then we also have on this Burnt Out, and this is Heatwave. Damage enemies take 25% more damage for 8 seconds. So as you can see, we're just stacking up anything we can with Heatwave, Overheat, Ash, Burn. We're just basically speccing into that for you guys to really boost up your damage. And this also boosts up teammates' damage as well. The Pyro is a very, very good build to help you and your teammates out. Now for weapons, we are using pretty much both legendaries, right? And there's a reason we're going to do this, and I'll show you in just a second why we do this. Now the first one is Funeral Pyro, and this is an automatic shotgun. The firepower doesn't really matter, but the higher, the better, of course, the same as anything. It's got crit damage, healing, and close range. Doesn't matter. All you want on this is Shadow Comet, which comes standard on the weapon, and then just put Fortress on it. Now, Shadow Comet, shots cool down a comet, dealing 210,000 damage to enemies within a 3.5 meter radius every 3 seconds. Now, because it's a shotgun, of course, shotguns fire and it spreads. And there are little pellets within the shotgun that spread out, and you can hit multiple NPCs at once. Now, the Comet comes down per pellet that's hit. So if you hit 5 people with that one shot, 5 comets will come down and all deal 210,000 to that area. So you can really get them when they're grouped up. This idea is you want them grouped up and you just want to hit them with Shadow Comet. Now on top of that, we added Fortress, and Fortress to me is a must-have for any build. For any build on any character, you've got to be running Fortress somewhere. So you receive up to 43% damage bonus based on your armor. Now, when I say damage bonus, that is not firepower, that is damage overall. So we're getting another 43% damage with our skills, with our heat waves, with our overheat, and with our ash. So that's another 43% damage buff that we've got along this build. Now, as a secondary, we are using the Death Shield. Death Shields seems to be hard to get for some people. I don't know, I've had a few of them now, but my RNG's like been crazy good recently, so touch wood, it carries on. Now with this is weapon life leech, healing receive, close damage, doesn't matter. 88.7k firepower, it's not bad, but it doesn't matter. Now this comes with Fortress already on it. So this is where you're going to get Fortress from. So you're going to have had Death Shield or a character with Death Shield already. Now if you've got like a second character or a first character that's got Death Shield, or has got Fortress in the library, just transfer your gun across into the stash to that character. He can then put Fortress on it and transfer it back. Or he can put Fortress on a crappy gun and you can dismantle it to put it into your library. So make sure you utilize all of your characters. The same for leveling gear up. You can just transfer it to the other character and level it all up. Now, we also have Moaning Winds on here. Moaning Winds, I do a lot of damage with Moaning Wings. Like sometimes 50, 60, 70 million alone is Moaning Winds. Now reloading creates a strong blast around you, dealing 387,000 damage to enemies in a range of 8 meters every 8 seconds. Now there is a little trick to this and I'll show you in a second how to get this and how to proc it easier while you're playing. Pistol wise, I don't care about the pistol. I never use the pistol. You're never going to want to have to use it. But if you do, just have Fortress on there to make sure you got the boost for your skills. And then any other mod that you like. It really does not matter. So, with the Death Shield, I'm going to equip it now. You can see here. So, I've got 10 rounds in the Death Shield. Let's shoot the rounds off. When it gets to 0 and he starts reloading, just switch your weapon. So then what will happen is now, if I'm shooting NPCs with my standard gun, we wait 8 seconds and then I switch over. So I switch to the Death Shield. Oh, no, got no ammo. Let's get some ammo, do it again. So basically go from 10 to 0. And then when he starts reloading after this shot, just switch out before he finishes reload, okay? So if we go 8 seconds from now, so you're running around, you're fighting NPCs, you're killing Tiago, you're killing Bailey, you're doing all this good stuff. All you're going to want to do is when you get to a point of you think it's been 8 seconds, all you do is switch to that gun and then switch back again. So switch, let him start reloading. Did you see the blast? And switch back. He'll always, every time you switch, he'll start reloading that weapon because you're not letting him finish the reload. So every 8 seconds, you'll get the blast like that. So you don't have to fire that weapon at all. You don't have to shoot it, then reload. You can just do that over and over again. And I do that at the beginning of the game. I just put myself to 0 bullets before I even get into the expedition, before I even start it. So it's really easy to do, and you're going to get a lot more damage. Now, that damage is also buffed up by everything else. Now, I can do something like 2.3 million damage using Moaning Winds. And of course, it's one of them things where you want to get in between them and set it off there, and you're going to hit a number of people with that damage. So for me, it's definitely a must-have, and it's a lot. It's probably the second most damage I do on my damage list. Honestly, it's definitely a must-have. So you can have other things like locusts and stuff like that, but I honestly don't think that does the damage that Moaning Wings does. And honestly, I love this talent right now, especially for my Pyro, because I can literally jump in between everyone and just buff it up and just do it. So I'm going to show you guys some footage now and some gameplay on us using this build, or on me using this build solo, so you guys can see. As I say, it's a team build and a solo build, and you can even use it to do those speed runs if you want to try and get like a 3-minute Boomtown. I think my fastest, and I'm not the best player at this game, my fastest is around 4 minutes on Boomtown, I think, or 4 something on Boomtown. Let's have a look. We can take a look. So Boomtown, 4 minutes 22, which is not bad, because before with my Devastator, I couldn't get gold on Boomtown. Like, my Devastator build is not fully complete. When I do that, I'm going to bring that build out for you guys as well. As you can see, well, I've done these in pretty good time, you know. This is pretty good times for all of them. Chem Plant, 7 minutes. That's a little bit high, but it is what it is, you know. We'll get there. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Enjoy the gameplay right now. Be sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below if you've got any questions. If you want help, join our Discord server. We will help you farm. We will help you get the gear that you need to make this build or any other build that you like. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.